Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. It is Saturday, September 28th, and I am still getting ready for craft shows. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Colleen Light, and I come to you from a small town in Southwest Washington. And I don't normally pop on Wednesdays, but, still wrapping up that end of summer, beginning of fall schedule. So if you're joining me today, welcome. If you're catching the replay, just comment replay, please, or leave a comment and let me know what you think about today's cards. So I'm making a card that's a little bit different for me. I'm combining two stamp sets. I normally don't do that. My favorite one, I think, out of the annual catalog, and I say that about every stamp set, so take it with a grain of salt, is this tune-in bundle. It's very retro, very fun. I love the images. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of the Jetsons in some ways. But look at these fun dies. And then most of you, if you've followed me for any length of time, know I love the Snowy Wonder Bundle also because I love all things snowmen and penguins. And so look at this, all the dies you get. I think there are 23. That's what it says, 23 dies. So that's pretty amazing in and of itself. So I am a very frugal stamper. I like to get the most I can out of all of my stamp sets. So I decided I wanted to make an old-fashioned Christmas card. You'll have to leave a comment, especially if you're watching on YouTube, down below and let me know what you think. This just kind of reminds me of, I don't know, I guess my grandmother's house when they used to put the little tree on top of the television set, which was kind of the focal point in a lot of people's living room. Anyway, this is the one we're going to make today. These are the other two samples I have. Very simple, using just the tune-in bundle. I love the bright retro colors. I used a little gold foil up here. Not gold, green, little foil. Use what you have, the colors you like. This is a very forgiving set. Just have fun. So I have the measurements out here, and I've done a little bit of pre-cutting. Normally we go through the whole card together, but this time I'm doing a little bit of pre-cutting and whatnot because it's a little bit of a fussier card. So for my card base, I stuck with my traditional thick basic white. And this is cut at, I'm gonna pop this here for you, 5.5 inches by 8.5, and I scored at 4 1/4. I will also have all of this blogged. So these were kind of a leap for me because I didn't use white card bases. And then for the cardstock, I used some of the Snowy Scenes designer series paper. And I chose this one because it looked like wallpaper to me. But let me show you, if you haven't seen this 12 by 12 inch paper, I've just gone through it, but I wanted to show you the snow globes. I don't know if I have any of it left or not. Well, I think I have, here, let me reach down in. And then there's different sizes of snow globes, and they come with the dies. Super beautiful, fun paper. So that's what I have there. Let me see what else. So I have that, and this is cut at 3 3/4 inch by 5 inches. I went a little bit out of order. For the basic cardstock, I have Poppy Parade here and Garden Green, and that's cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. I have Poppy Parade on this one. I'm thinking I might switch to Garden Green, but I'm not really sure. So, we'll see. We'll see what I think as the card goes along. Then we're going to do some die cuts and some stamping, and we're just going to kick back on this lovely Saturday morning and make a fun card. So let's go ahead and do some stamping to start. I'm making my television with this pool party. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so I'm going to go ahead and put a mat underneath. If you don't have this mat, use your catalog, anything for a little bit of a cushion with those photopolymer stamps. Let me grab out the set here, and we're going to pop out this television here. And you know, I love the sentiments in this. They're super fun. I love the fonts and really the antenna. The antenna, so cute. Anyway, when you have a larger photopolymer stamp set or stamp, just plop it down so it kind of goes back to its natural state of, shape, I think is the word I'm looking for. So it lays out nice and even. I'm going to use the Memento Tuxedo Black, and we're going to just go ahead here and ink this up. If you are making a lot of these, you can use a stamp positioning tool. I still have the Stampin' Up! Stamparatus, which I don't sell anymore, but there's lots of stamp positioning tools out there. So just find one you like and you're comfortable with. All right, there we go. So there's our first stamping done. I'm going to move that out of my way. I'm going to stick with this scrap of, I thought I had a scrap of basic white. I do. Of this snow, to put the Let It Snow in here. And this piece measures 2 inches by 2.5 inches. And I'm going to grab the Poppy Parade and I'm going to stamp our sentiment here. So let me grab another block and grab out the sentiment out of the snowy. Told you it's a little bit more of a fussier card than I generally make. So Let It Snow greeting here. And look at all of these fun stamps in here. This is just the cutest set. Cute. And I use the word cute 8 million times in all of my videos. Cute, cute, cute. So I hope you all are having a lovely Saturday morning. It's been kind of quiet here. And again, I'm using Poppy Parade. So all you do with these photopolymer stamps is just lightly tap. You don't need to go overboard. Just tap, tap, tap. I am going to center this as best as I can, and I'm not too worried about it. There we go. And that is not exactly even, and I'm not worried about it because I can position this in my television however I want it. Then I thought it would be fun to take some different ink, which I had the pool party out. Hold, please. Just had to run to a different side of the craft room. And I have my pool party, and I'm going to grab out this little star here because Let It Snow needs a little snowflake, I think. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to pop that down. Lightly tap it in the pool party. And I am just going to put a few snowflakes around this sentiment. I only put 3 on the other one, but I think I might just go all out with the 5 here and give it a little bit more. How cute is that? Things don't have to be perfect. You can see that little bit there didn't stamp. That's okay. It's handmade. So it is a-okay with me. So there's the pool party. Use the ink colors you like. Now let me get a little scrap here. Again, a basic white, which I have here because we need to stamp some presents. And for the presents, use whatever colors you like. And again, the presents came from Snowy Wonder. So I'm going to grab that one. Start with your lightest color ink first. So I'm going to start, I like the Daffodil Delight, so I'm going to start with that. And these are all going to be die cut. So I'm looking for my die cuts too. So use the colors, again, that you like. So I'm going to start with the Daffodil Delight here. And start with your lightest color first. And I'm going to pop that right there. Give it a second for that ink to absorb. There we go. And I have my chamois here that I'm going to just clean this off. This is just terribly stained, and it's not even that old. It's okay. I rinse it out all the time. The staining does not affect it whatsoever. Then I needed a little azure afternoon, which I probably am saying wrong, but there you go. That's the one I want next. And I'm going to pop that there, just like that. Wipe this one off again. And make sure I don't have any ink left on there. And then how about some Melon Mambo? Because I love, love, love this color and like when I have the opportunity to use it. And I wanted brighter presents this time around. See, there we go. And it is really, this card looks, it is a little fussy, but I just really like it. So I wanted to share with you how you can get, maybe use some of your other stamp sets for your holiday cards. Okay, so we've got our stamping done. This one here, we need to do our die cutting. One more die cut is from that Snowy Scenes. I'm going to grab the die from the Snowy Wonder dies and take the shortcut. Instead of stamping, I am going to go ahead and die cut this. I'm also going to show you a trick after I die cut this piece of how you can make it a little bit more sturdy. Sometimes when we use the designer series paper, it's just a hair thinner than the cardstock. Hi, Mary Ellen. It just does not carry the same weight as the cardstock. So if you're mailing a lot of cards, I'm going to show you a little trick on how you can make this a little bit more sturdy. I'm going to grab my die cutting machine. Actually, I'm going to cut this one off camera so I don't shake the whole table. I'm going to just put that right there. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Stampin' and, oh, you know what? I'll just bring it over. Just in case you're unfamiliar with it, let me bring this over here. So this is the cut and emboss machine, and I have plate 1, plate 2, plate 3, and I'm going to pop this down there just like that. And also, oops, that's a little off. That's not going to be right. Let's just move that over a hair. Much better. And let's pop this in. And I absolutely love a die cutting machine because it makes crafting so easy. I pre-cut my other dies, but I'm going to, or my other images. Oh, that is a little bit off. It's okay though. It's fine. Again, I think by the time the card's done and the presents are there, we're not going to really notice very much. So I used one of my snow globes to do that. This is the card here again. And I'm going to show you the dies I used for the television and the presents. From the TV, I used the tune-in dies. I used the big die here, the bigger television die, and then I cut out the inside. Ran it through my die cutting machine. And this is the image. This is what I got. For the presents, I went ahead and used from Snowy Wonder. Let me move these out of the way. From Snowy Wonder, I used the present die. And there's only one, so I ran it through individually and cut out the 3 and ended up with my 3 gifts. The trick I wanted to, and I'll make another card, so none of those will go to waste. The trick I wanted to show you was I cut out, it was just right here. I cut out a piece of basic white using that tree, which now I can't find. It must have popped out. So I'll cut another piece of basic white really, really quickly because I really want to show you how easy it is to make that a more, oh, here it is. I cut out another die cut of that basic white cardstock to add to the back of this die cut to make this more sturdy. And I think that is part of the trick, if you can, when you're using these and you're propping them up on dimensionals to make it a bit more sturdy. Oops, that was a big bunch of glue for a little. Let's take some of that off. My goodness. Here, let's grab a little piece of paper here. We do not need that much glue on there. There we go. Take some of that off. And then I just adhered my design, sorry, things are wiggling everywhere. I just adhered my designer series paper die cut to this piece of basic white. You could match a color, you know, with whatever you, sorry, all thumbs today, with whatever you were doing to make it more sturdy. So now you essentially have another piece of cardstock that will hold up. All right. Let's go ahead and put this card together. I think the one thing I didn't show was and of course it's clear, so it popped out somewhere, is I have a piece of window sheet, but that's okay. Let's just cut another piece. It'll give me the opportunity to show you the window sheet. This is how Stampin' Up! Does their window sheet. You can buy it. I have seen, I think it was Connie Stewart that upcycles this bottom part and she cleans it off and she uses it as window sheet. I'm pretty sure it was Connie Stewart that I saw do that. I just happen to have window sheets available, so that's what I am going to use. And again, you'll find these in the annual catalog. And this was cut at 2 inches, here's the smallest, 2 inches by 2.5 inches, the same size as our sentiment piece. Telling you, I'm losing my train of thought here. Let's do 2 inches, perfect, by 2.5. And I'm going to hopefully not lose this piece. That's not right, I cut that at 3.5. I tell ya. Now, sometimes you can get a little bit of fingerprints on it, and alcohol wipes work great. I did not have one in here, but you know, I do have this cleaning thing, so I'm just gonna give it a little swish here and dust it off in case I have any fingerprints or anything on there. Okay, perfect. Let's start putting things together. Let's start with our television. So I have my Let It Snow. I am going to look at how I want that in there. Can you see how cute that is? So it's just a novel way to use your stamp sets. Like I say, I am definitely a frugal stamper, so I like to try different things with my stamp sets to see what I can do with them. Okay, so glue dots. Glue dots are your best friend. Oh, how about if we start with that window sheet I just set down? Oh, here it is. I was going to say, oh, for crying out loud, don't tell me I lost another one. And we're going to put some glue dots up in the corners here. We want our window sheet down first before our sentiment piece. I think you could use Stampin' Seal Plus for this if you really wanted to. I think you could do Stampin' Seal Plus. I think you could, I don't know that I would use the glue, but you could give it a try. I don't know how long it would take to dry. That's too far out. I don't know how long that would take to dry. So let's go ahead and add some glue dots here. And I might just add one in the center to make it more secure there. I am probably use too much adhesive sometimes. And let's go ahead and pop this right there, making sure our glue dots don't show through the screen there. Isn't that fun? Oh, good morning, Carol. I'm happy you're watching me live too. Anyway, let's go ahead and put this here and center that. And again, I'm just going to use glue dots. and make this as fun as we can. And we want the glue dots on the side that is printed because we're placing it like that. So let's go ahead and put these up in the corner. I just think this is fun using the window sheets. And I really like the retro feel to this stamp set. And again, I love when I can go, oops, that one is way too low. Let's try that one again. Here, I'm sure I'm bouncing every other glue dot here. I'll have to go through. And let's go ahead and pop this down and make sure I'm nice and centered. There we go. Okay, what do you all think so far? Good? Too novel? Does it look okay? And let's grab the rest of the parts and pieces here. So on this one, I used Poppy Parade. I have garden green here. If you're watching, what color do you think I should stick with? Poppy Parade? Or should we swap it out and add a little bit more and change it up a little bit and put the garden green? Let me know what you think. Oh, thanks, Carol. So I don't know. I have a hard time making the same card twice, so I might swap it out for the garden green. I think it'll match, especially by the time we add the ribbon. So all I did here is on the designer series paper, I just looked and I just angled it. Kind of went with that retro kind of vibe where you have the ribbon and you go down. And that's all I'm going to do again. Pretty easy. Okay, green it is. We'll go with the green. So let's pop this down here and bring this up like that. And then we'll bring one from the top down. And this is also a great way to use up some of your supplies. This is ribbon I actually had left over from last year. There, I believe it's still in the catalog, but this is a great way if you have twine or ribbon or anything you're trying to use up to add just a little bit extra to your card. And there we go. Now you can see I wasn't too fussy about placement. This one's a little bit lower, but it's okay. I think it's all okay. And let's just go ahead and glue this piece down. And then we're going to decorate the front of this with our tree and our gifts and our TV. There we go. And I know this ribbon I did not secure, and the reason I'm not is I'm going to end up putting dimensionals here. So let's go ahead and pop this right there with some dimensionals. So I was saying that I always add certain things to my Stampin' Up! Order. I did a post earlier this week, and one of the things I always add for whatever reason is glue dots. Always add glue dots. So if you're watching, leave me a comment about what you always add to your order. And basic white cardstock was the other big thing. Again, I'm overdoing the dimensionals. I use way more dimensionals and adhesive than anybody ever really needs to. So I had to press those. I couldn't tell if the backing was off or not. All right, let's pop this TV right here. I like this paper because I feel like it grounds the television. Well, Tammy, you missed the start, but that's what the replay button's for. And thanks for popping in. Let's go ahead and put our TV. Let's tuck this in right there. I'm going to actually tuck this in right there. Oh, I like the height on this one. And let's grab a few dimensionals to pop behind there. And I'm going to use a mini for the top and a regular sized one for the bottom. There we go. If you don't have minis, cut one of your larger ones in half. And let's pop this right there. Cute, cute. There we go. And let's add our gifts to our television. We'll start with this. And for this, I did use the mini again at the top and just the smallest bit of glue at the bottom. And you could use a glue dot if that's easier for you. So pop that right there. And I'm going to tuck the blue one in and add the glue as you see fit. I'm going to add just a dimensional then up in this corner here. I placed it so I knew exactly where to add my dimensional. And I'm going to pop that right like there. And you can add as many presents as you want. And this one I'm going to put over here. So I'm really interested to what you all think about this retro Christmas card using the two sets combined. That's right. I agree. Tammy says nobody wants a saggy TV. Use the dimensionals liberally. I agree 100%. Okay, so then what I did here at the top was I grabbed my iridescent adhesive back dots because they have a poppy parade color right down here. And you need a little tree topper, don't you? And this lays flat. So there you go. Just that easy. And then of course we cannot forget about the television. And I have some festive pearls here because I wanted to add a little bit of silver. You could stick with the pool party color, but I don't know. I'm probably aging myself, but I actually can remember colors of dials and everything. So this is my retro, how to get the most out of your stamp sets, cards. This is it. So I combined some Snowy Wonder and some Tune In. Love the dies that come with both of these sets. Oh, you know what? I guess I should maybe put the card base on the card front on the card base. Talk about getting ahead of myself. Oh my gosh. Colleen. Let's see here. Let's pop this down. Get that dust off of there. This is what happens when your dog gets the zoomies at 3 in the morning. There we go. The card is now complete. But again, let me show you what I used. I used the very front Tune In. Love it. Think it makes just the cutest standard cards if you don't have a Christmas set. Just adorable. But because I am who I am, and I am a frugal stamper, I wanted to make some Christmas cards for upcoming craft shows. So I combined it with the Snowy Wonder stamp set, dies, and that fabulous Snowy Scenes designer series paper. So if you decide to combine stamp sets, I would actually love to see your ideas. Anyway, so these are this week's cards. I have enough now to make another one of these. So when I get this all blogged and whatnot, I'll be back in my craft room later making some more of these. Thanks so much for joining me this Saturday and have a fabulous weekend.